big punishment. The British pound got spanked today. I bought into this plunge. Also bought into the euro yen. So I had the 20 pip grid up. I've got the Bollinger Band Psycho market profile. These things are almost trading alike for the sense that it is Europe against the rest of the world. So it has a really a nice pip balance too, but I was able to run scripts on both currencies without having a dramatic shift in what it can do. So this has to get to 20, and this has to get to 20. Also, the rate of change, as they get to those numbers, we get to 20 on both of these, I'll be at break even. Also, I'm letting this robot trade this account. I want to put another robot on the other screen. So I got two robots, a scalp bot and a swing bot, simultaneously running on here. Now, certainly when it's in a winning streak, you can see the market has going to go change dimension. This robot is literally dropping tickets like a blind man every 8 hours or whatever you set it at. So all these variations, I back tested them, and they make a considerable amount of money if the ATR fits the swing without blowing up the account because it goes too far. The British pound went down 60 pips from that treetop. So this was the obvious sell window where your big fat tickets would go in, and you could call it whatever you want, but I think it's obvious what's going on up here. Once again, I have to turn on the rectangle because it does not come like that. That's the broker trying to keep you from making money. So insert here, rectangle, very important. That's going to be the order bank. I place like just tons of orders in there. And when the market comes into that little window and it comes back out, it's a scalp that you didn't even have to be there for because it's so obvious. Those pockets, those insane undercuts, when you're looking back into the market, is going to be the most prime real estate. It's like there's nothing left. That's when they start to dig underground, But luckily, there's not that many people yet, so it's not like going to be West, it's not going to be Wild West yet, but the volatility is going to pick up, I think. Coming into the Trump election, I think when he was being elected the first time, I don't know if you were watching the Eurodollar, but that's normally a tame pair. It was out of control. So brace yourself. I would step back if you're not used to insane. Of course, this thing here is pretty tame. I was just showing this to somebody today, and I said, look at this thing. It's just going up and down. It's so stupid. And I said, all we have to do is get to 20, and I'll be up. Both instruments have to get to 20. We're almost at 20 here, and this goes up 4 pips. I will be up. I bought this big psycho plunge, and right here at this moment here, there was a point at which that was the pocket that filled. That is the floor we are under right now. We just step in one increment here. So this is the trap for the bears, and the bull trap was the breakout above the 20-yard line last night. For all these instruments, when you came into this hole, which has already been filled and killed, right there is where you would sell on a limit, right? Because it's a trap. Also, I sold into that this morning, actually, barely. It was a little bit disturbing, but I did it. I just a few tickets there. I had a bank that I wrote that was pretty large, and it covered 4 hours, so it had quite a bit of exposure to it. And I was a little leery of, am I going to be able to get out of the scalps, So I scalped out because I didn't want to ride the swing, But between these two pair, I can literally drop the other script in here and just be like, yeah, that's going to fit. It's a good fit because it's a good ATR fit. So I'm engineering it from the bottom up, right? It's dollar risk, and you just keep putting tickets in at different prices for different exposure times for different. So you might make your 8 pips, you might make $80, but you could swing it for you'd be in a miniature position while it drifts. So last night you could have gone along the pound as we swept out the vacuum on the top side. So that whole big hole, we did fill it last night. Another astounding vacuum fill and then smash, right? So this would probably what would piss people off that we're really looking for that to keep running. Like the No Nonsense guy did a video about, well, some of these can just take off. Yeah. Sure, buddy. Like 80%, 90% of it is just completely, it's like rope-a-dope for most people. They're like, what the fuck just happened? So even this girl today, she says, well, what happened there? Well, was there, did they stop making crumpets? What happened to the British pound? Oh, nothing. I figured it was a swap thing, or I think it was just like all the people that sold up into this hole that was so fucking obvious. Like I said, this 2-hour window, yeah, that's your entry. You're selling there. You could have sold, and I would have, but I wasn't going to stand in front of this thing. I could have started selling from here to here with just an immense bank of orders, just mind-blowing. And it would make sense because if my stop is way the hell at the top of this thing, you can only imagine. This is only 20 pips from here to here. So if you get the sizing right, when you start to approach this window, you're selling very hard for the next 20 pips. How hard that's not that risky, is it? 10 tickets? 10 tickets. People just don't want to do it. They're like, what the 10 tickets up there? Are you nuts? Show me where to get in. I'm not going to get in an area. No, I just want that one house. Good luck. So this thing's banging up against the floor here. And we're going to try to scalp to here, which is 20 on bid. So I'm waiting for that. And I think we could still crush this rooftop, this one, which is marked by the blue line. And we've already crushed this one and this one. So the buy stop bots that literally do nothing but when it's smashing down, they're putting in buy stops, right? Trailing every hour. You just got filled down here. So a trailing buy stop bot every hour. There's 24 hours in a day. These are classic retracement situations. Don't forget, you took out this guy's stop. Right? Who did you crush today? Some guy bought here. He put a stop here. He trailed here. He probably left his stop here, maybe. Because, he got in here and he thought, well, I'm just going to, for good measure, I'm going to give it a lot of room. That's what I'll do. I'll give it a lot of room. And when it got to here, he's like, oh, yeah, that is resistance. This is where it backed off last night. So when I left off the video last night, we were dipping into the window. A little bit of scalpers come in. They're like, uh-oh, it's not going to go crush this. We're going after this. We're going after that. Now, all you had to do last night was put sell limits above here and sell all the way up. And we never made it to, well, that's not true. This wick is sitting right there at the top. So once it cleared out this whole thing, once it just went and cleared out that whole nest of slopage very quickly, and then it even quickerly comes down here because, yeah, this whole void left behind here needs to be healed. Now we come to here. Now we're fair to value. Now do we come down here? Or do we go here? Or do we just go here and then here? Who knows? Got to make it to 20 on this. Got to make it to 20 on the other currency. But it's a lot of fun. I must say the 20 pip thing, the spread isn't that bad because you're canvassing 40 pip ranges now. So this 40 pip system, you can make 40 to 80 pips, or you can make 20 to 60, or you can make 20 to 40, and everything in between. Now they're synced up. The bids are the same here. These guys are really competing. It's like a triangulation in a sense, because you have Japan, U.S., and Europe. But I guess I could. But the other, to put up the guppy on there, you'd have to definitely have a script that has a 50 pip stop. And now it's costing you quite a bit to hold the position. It's almost like getting in a 7, getting in a 4K in just a euro. But for, having a soft stop makes it so that, it's a little bit less. It's like bumper cars. There's a little bit less damage to the car, even though it's not precision racing equipment. Certainly sitting there and babysitting it all day with a meth pipe would probably make you a lot of money. If you're a scalper, you're like, yeah, I got it. I'm all over this thing. Yeah, hold a second. And you got hotkeys in front of you, and you're just going, you can't stop pressing the button. But when you don't change your targets and you don't change your stops, that's the ultimate, because then every time you pull the trigger, like, okay, this is going to be a precision shot, this is going to be a sloppy shot. And letting the robot do what I would normally do, and the only robots that I've been able to make money with are limit bots, because the stop entry keeps getting trapped. I haven't tried the market order hedging system yet, but it would still have to come out in a certain time of day when it's quiet, so that 12 pip stop, or that 16 all the way to 12, maybe there's 20K, half a pip apart. That soft cushion makes it so you can survive a little bit of bouncing around, because you're going to lose 50K, but you're still in 250K. And it's a big kind of floating. Between the two currencies, it's kind of nice, because it's a little bit of a even softer stop, because you can't duplicate now, because once you run out of, trust me, once you put enough tickets on one instrument, then you're so fragile, because you're too loaded up on one instrument. So if you have two that have similar ATR, you've synced that, and now everything you do, you don't have to worry about is it 1% of the account, because now it's about pure dollars. So this is interesting. I like this. When it comes here, it looks like, well, sellers should come in here, and maybe they will. If they pull it back, having enough dry powder to buy this pullback. And I wish I had another robot running on top, which I don't right now, but if we had a robot that was going to sit here and just come in with limits here, it'd be really beautiful. Every hour it's putting limits here, maybe it's sell limits here every hour, and it just keeps flashing the market with these. That'd be the ultimate. And then even that, you might have to go, you know what, this thing's up. Get out everything that's up. One thing this robot won't do is, if I get out everything that we're up on, it's not going to come back in with more tickets. So I have this stop entry robot that will actually put on a certain amount of tickets, like 2. I don't know why, but if you cash out, it immediately puts new pendings in. So it's like rolling the account over, kind of, so to speak. And that's a little bit. It's another. Every time you add an element, the more complex it gets. The harder it is, the more stressful. And of course, to let the robot do it, you're gonna have to trust that the elections aren't coming out, because that is going to be very dangerous, I think, because these are overcounting the markets. And even if you have 200 pip stops, and you could end up getting crushed, if you kind of trading, I guess if you did the math, it wouldn't matter. If you don't mind risking $150, but you'd probably have to trade really wide to survive the swings. What's going to happen is just going to be crazy, I think. But, or maybe just be a dud. It's baked in the cake. Of course, that was a nice sell-off today. I must say the people that held on through that, and there's not even a chance to get on this train. Look at this. Never made a close down. Left a whole trail of really fat void behind. That was the thing that convinced me. We have that first. We have the doji, so the breakout traders could have got in here, non-directional people. Just nice clean breakout right at the 20-yard line. And plummet. And just crush. And here was my first scalp. And here. And here was the only good trade today, was 20 pips off of that. So you had a limit here. That's from the dead cat bounce standpoint. But then here, when I saw this, I must say I bought at the market. Because I thought it's time to go in. So go big or go home right here, because really, like when I saw that, I'm like, I guess so. You know, I mean, we could kind of see it coming in the sense that this was so brutal that, yeah, we're going to go there. We got to go to here. We got to go get that last guy stop. You poor son of a bitch. Oof. Here, we're making it to the 20s now, so we're going to let this go. All right, so we made it through the threshold of crime here. Trying to just ride this scalp out, and then I'll be flat. Look, I'm losing money on this robot, though. So I'm doing better than robot right now, I must say. I do like the idea of having a robot going. I forgot to leave it on today, so sadly, I didn't get to see. But I want to put 2 robots on 2 instruments. Have like a 1-hour mini spike bot that's going to grab a 15 to 25 pip move every 2 hours. Then we have the big giant swing grids that, okay, maybe it gets filled at the end of the week in some kind of harebrained mishap. Okay, right now the euro's making me money. I'm waiting for the pound to commence and go up with everything here. So this is going to be the big... I'm looking for the British pound to go up hard right now on this chart, because the euro's going up hard, and it's just a real easy kind of Europe against the world thing here. Okay, so we'll look for this to go up, and this one's leaving the station first, so this is the 1 hour. So here, we're kind of trapping these guys, though. I would say the sellers, they did start selling here, no doubt, and they're going to sell that top and that top. And that was the bottom. I'm sure a lot of people are cashing out right now. So I think I'm one of them. Yeah, so definitely out of that, and waiting for this to both to go to 20. So we go above the 20, we make it to 25, I would say we're going to be 50% out of the position. So because I bought really heavily based on this low and this low, when I saw us take this out, I said, holy shit. And that was when I got in here at the market. And of course, had to throw limits in again, because I thought, no, we're probably going to go down again. You know, it's just how it is. I mean, like if you bought down here thinking, oh yeah, I bought here, look at, I got in here, and then you're like, holy shit, like geez, man, that's a deep move, right? It's a deep hunt. Like this is just nick the wick and then rip, right? So like this area, yeah, your crop of settlements can be expansive in here because it's calling for it, you know. So the auction theory is that, you know, or this is the, wow, that's an amazing price. Like that's even higher than Asia. It's totally perverse. So this is Asia, and then this lower than Asia in Europe open. Oh, comes back. Scalpers get out. One more down. Oh, who's not getting in there, right? And then, whoa. And then here, I'm typically starting to sell here, cash out, because I'm like, well, we're coming up into the trap for the other guys. Just like this one. I mean, look at this. How dumb are you to put a sell limit up here? Not too dumb. We don't trade reversals here. I guess that's the thing that floored me about no nonsense. You don't trade reversals? Dude, that's where all the money's at. What? Well, we're trend traders. See, what we do here is we get this got a baseline, see, like this. What we do is well, if it's up like this without heavy volume and our base is above our baseline, we get in. And then we eventually make a few dollars here. Okay, Jethro, so, but wouldn't you just buy at the pullback to the moving average? Yeah, that's good. That works too, but then we get stopped out. We put our stop in here. Now look at us. Okay, well, did you notice this top become a bottom? On the 1 hour chart, like you don't have time to watch one currency? No, man, we're building algorithms here. Would you step away from the computer for a minute? I'm here between me and my next algorithm. What is wrong with this guy? Oh my God, he's just creating zombies of MACD zombies and shit. Then he's claiming he doesn't know what divergence is. Why using a momentum indicator then, dumb shit? Just trade auction. Hey, look at this new lows. They keep fucking stopping you out. Oh, did they? No shit. People are freaking out during this sell-off. At the same time the pound turned around. Gee, I wonder why. So putting a buy limit here, yeah, you make a few pips. They slam you. Not if you bought here, all the way down. Because this became a winner with the theory of wide stops, which you only have like this is a 50 pip range here. So it's 25 pip, 50 pip grid here, so it's different. But yeah, these are just dumbass, easy trades, these reversals. The hardest thing in the world to do is to say, I've analyzed these markets, and let me tell you, I got a trend indicator. Let me just sit down. Grab yourself a seat. Let me show you this Indy I got. Not Indy 500, son. No, these are indicators. Shows you the trend. Trend your friend. And also, don't forget, you're a trend trader, son. We don't want to go against anything going on out there. We say yes to everything. Very agreeable. I guess that's another thing that's a problem. So yeah, that's a real. These markets are brutal. Like if you put a sell, you went and shorted here, and you're like, dude, we are making so much money on that trade, and like I never moved my stop. I had a stop here when I sold here, and they fucking stopped me out. And then ripped it all the way back. Is anybody having that problem on the dailies? Well, no, we look at the volume. So yeah, looking at the volume, that's going to help. Sure, that'll do it. Is that more volume than last time? I don't know. I mean, like, how are these people doing it? They're not. Like, they can't be. They just look at the chart and they go, yeah, that would be amazing if we got in. The moving average crossed over. If we would have bought here, and then look when it crossed over at the top. Yeah, but in between that, like if you just looked at the moving averages of price, you go, sure. But if you see your equity going up and down, how are you going to deal with that? I mean, that's not right. You can't sit there and look at, I'm down like way too much. It hurts. So you got to regulate the size of these reversal trades. Yeah, contrarian trading. You can't stand in front of the void. You just can't. And you can't go on a 15-minute RSI thing because the real money or the high probability money is always going to be putting a buy limit here and a buy limit here, no matter what's going on the 15-minute. I'm sure there's a nice divergence on the 15-minute chart here at the RSI. And people would say, yeah, look at that. What confirmation? And even waiting for the divergence for confirmation, not being a goober. oh, I'm going to put a buy stop here because if it breaks out there, then it's really going up. Are you fucking retarded? You got to buy here. You got to buy here. You got to buy here. How are people missing this shit? There's some guy's got to stop here. You got to buy it. Fuck him. He's an idiot. That's fucking no nonsense shit. We bought heavy here. I was bullish. The news was good. And thanks, buddy. Thanks for your signal. And then some guy was doing this thing saying, oh, it doesn't matter when you get in my signal. What? Your signal said buy. And by the time I got my email, I bought at the market. It doesn't matter. Fuck, it doesn't. Not maybe not to you. But Jesus, somebody has to have a stop in there on one of these tickets. You can't just keep putting money in the account. I mean, I guess you could just put a bunch of money in the account and just trade standard lots, but at some point you're going to get destroyed. Also, there's only less than 24 hours left in this market, so all I need to do is retrace here 20 pips. And if it drifts up into, I don't know what, like slam down, drift up, then we still have at least 12 hours before news comes out. So we could get a nice drift here. So I'm happy with the drift. I prefer to be smash down, smash up. Like the best in the world has to be when you bought below here and you're like, yeah, we're buying there. I know everybody's very bearish here. Then the scalpers take it back to they get out. They're like, oh, nice. People come in heavy here. Ain't going no lower. Drying up volatility. Got a flag, a pennant. This crush back is so vicious that really this is probably the most exciting move. Is you get filled down here, you see this and you go, oh yeah, I'm buying that at the market now. First confirmation is you're filled on these tickets. You're like, wow, that's fucking beautiful. Maybe take a couple tickets off. Like 300K in there. 50K you take off here. Comes back. Maybe you don't buy anymore. Maybe you just sit tight. Right? Talking about putting in 200K here. Another 100K down here. Soft stops. Maybe you lose. Out of 200K, you lose 50K. They stop you out. You know. It's kind of like a hay bale at the racetrack. Yeah, you know, you might have to have 2 hay bales in there. But I wouldn't get overly concerned. Anybody who had the balls to put sell limits up here was just going, oh yeah, I get it. Sell, sell. Martingale, this is the biggest ticket. This is going to be, so you put 20K, 10K, 5K, 5K. It's that stupid. I mean, I know people want to say, well, have you seen the Rainco? Have you seen the tick bar? Are you fucking nuts? Why do I need to see a tick bar? I can see the Williams, dumb shit Williams fractal entry. Yeah, we're turtle traders. We just keep buying new highs, not in Forex. Or not in this, not in a 24-hour market. Where they just keep rolling this shit over and over and over. My God, where the fuck's it going? Nowhere. Why are you trying to kill it? I told this person today, why kill yourself? Just put fucking buy limits in, dude. If it's coming down into this shit, it's going like this, it's going like this, it's going like this. Yeah, in the end, it may take out this high and keep going. In the end, it may take out this low and keep going. But until then, can't we just fucking trade this? Why do you have to have a baseline, a fucking 1% of ATR? Are you fucking nuts? That is, who the fuck is this guy? Okay, that's it. This no-nonsense guy is claiming that people are criticizing him. Who? Where are the people criticizing him? People just praise this guy like he's the second coming of Jesus. Or yeah, like this guy. Oh, thank you, no nonsense guy. We were going to lose our minds. Thanks for more nonsense. He wants to make sense out of it. You want to make sense out of it? Good luck. I think it makes sense totally. Like sellers are in here, right? They cashed out. They're out of that trade, right? We took some off the table. It popped in the window. This shit goes on over and over again. Nobody's got a trade plan for that fucking move. Apparently, it's so obvious. Now it could rip all the way back. I got a trade plan, but buy limits in. Look, I'm short. I'm trapped into this thing on the wrong side. I should cash out and intervene here. Here, I'll pull a Paul Ryan. Was it that Ryan guy? Okay, so here, cashing out. Oh, I don't have the script in here, so I guess I can't. I have to manually open the platform and do it. Okay, so let's just get out of these and let the other. Oops, yikes! I probably took out your hearing. Oh, they're all winners. I'll just leave the losers behind. There you go. Oh, fuck it, we'll just get out. Okay, so I guess I could restart the platform or put in another bot here. Let's go for this high frequency robot. Okay. Hard stop. 10 pips here, it looks like. Here's our every 2 hours. Wait, they last for a day, so this is a real stacking operation. Here, hard stop, hard take profit. Let's go with that. Okay, tickets are coming in. So they're going to come in every, let's see, every 4 hours we're going to drop orders. They last for 12 hours. And it's going to martingale in. This is my latest system. It was for the United States, although you'd have to have turn off one leg. Because this is actually going to get in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8K. I put the 8K way out on the perimeter. So I'm actually up $147 on this account just because we're sitting here in the account. I let it go yesterday, and I should have let it go for more tickets, but this is as far as we got. It's just a way to have somebody place orders for you, like you probably know you're going to do. I'm glad we got out of this. I think it's going to go up, so it's going to go up into these tickets. I got to know what the other robot's called. I don't want to duplicate anything, so what the hell's the name of it here? Oh, I think I turned it off. Maybe when I put on the oh shit, when I put on the right. Okay, here's a real deep state. 20 to 90 pips every 4 hours, right? Lasts for a day, martingale. Okay, that's really out of bounds, isn't it? That's too far away. I'm missing the beginning of the tickets, though. The centerpiece. I must have turned it off. I don't know. Anyways, I have no idea. I got to rethink that. This one's running. So British pound. I mean euro dollar against the yen. I think we're going to crush this. We're going to go stop hunting right now. We're going to stop hunt the bears tonight. And we might be able to get to at least about here. And then we'd be good. We wouldn't have to trade it the rest of the week. British pound's got to get to, let's see. It's a lot of pips. Okay, sellers came in here. because of this. This was the big crush when we came into there. So everybody gobbled up that price, and there's the dump zone. It's going to be right there. We could still pull back. And they'll give us some more fuel. We can make it to here. Or we're going to have to come all the way back to here or something. So that's why I'm in two currencies, because it's a softer risk in these two. And because this looks very bullish here. Like we're going to crush 20. We're going to get to 25, get to 30. I think that's, this is just a great spastic pair. I mean, it's just insane. Much like the guppy, it's just a psychotic move of like gobbo pip. If you've got enough money, you know, because even at 1Ks, this is pretty steep. Look at it. Look at the shenanigans on this thing. Can you believe it? Okay, another moment of truth is, can we hold this area here? So it's new fair value. Sellers have scalped that. Are they going to be able to pull it down to here? We still got the top of the hour, and that 5-minute window is where people scalped that just now, because about 5 minutes ago we were up here. We jumped to the 5-minute chart here before the close of the hour. Well, there you go. 15 minutes ago we were up there, smashed up. Now we got pressure building on the top here. Yeah, I'm going to try to post this indicator. So this stair step here is a little bit more, this is very sharp pullback into the top of the hour. You got to get some kind of follow through here. We hit the 20. We did hit the 20 for a second, so I cashed out of something I know at the 20. Now we could waffle around. We could still come all the way back. I'm sure by close of Asia we could be hitting this, or by London we could hit that price. So there you go. It's 20 seconds before the top of the hour. Quite the drama here. Everything's pulling back now. So now we're pulling back because a lot of people are going to reverse here at the top of the hour or continue. So the next 5 minutes after, we could see some drama. Looks like we're taking off here on a rant. Looks like they're going to get the party started here on the north side for the euro yen. It's going to just pull back below the 20. Now we got to make it to the 24. So another 6 pips up. Okay. So we got to hold the 20s. Hold above 20 there. And then I want to see the pound catch up. Play catch up. That's the plan tonight. Okay. I want to see that guy bust that stairway. 5-minute blue line. Okay, let's clear this shit out. There you go. We want to see it bust. Tear into these bear stops that are trailing for that little walk down. We want to crush those really quickly in the next 5 minutes. 5 minutes after the top of the hour, we should be blowing out that stairway down on those lower highs. Plus the volatility is really dried up here. Okay, so I'm going to hold my long position in for the next 2 hours at least. Try to get about 20. We haven't really hit 20 solid on both instruments yet. But But I don't know. I was just playing around one day, and I said, "Why am I killing myself on this?" I trade so big on the euro, you have no idea. So the spread's getting in the way. I want to swing trade this shit because look at this thing go. Look at this euro yen. It's psychotic. It's totally unsensical. You gotta love it. It's just nuts. Look at it go. Well, that's even before. I'm kind of scared now. That's even before the 5 minutes after. So looks like they trapped some goobers there. This is where I get nervous, you know. God, are they gonna rip it back? Oh, no, this thing can really move, you know. Even with this bad spread here, it's worth it. Euro yen, I can't believe that's a pair that's allowed. I think it's the most. Maybe there's. Look at, see the pullback there? Kind of makes you leery. Is that really going to break out? I don't know. These people are nuts, man. They'll spike like. Last night it ripped up 20 pips on my last video, right this time of night. We could get a nice 10 pip bounce here. Then I cash out. Auto cash out here. But I want to orchestrate about maybe 4 robots on 2 different currency pairs and just see what happens as far as what I typically trade would, the typical logical trade would be the shallow scripts last a very short period of time and they're constantly refreshed. I've done tests on it. So if you have a order bank that's pending for an hour, that's considerably deep. Considerably big position, but a narrow range. And maybe you have a 1 hour and a 2 hour robot, and they canvas that kind of situation. Then you have a deep swing system running on top of that picks up 20 pip apart entries instead of 1 pip apart. But the little 10 pip and 20 pip wicks on this currency are a gold mine if you've got the track laid to capture it. Right, if you've got the tickets that you can spread out. Okay, looks like we're going to get some follow through here. So it's not even 5 minutes after the top of the hour. But funny, look, it poked out, pulled back. So on the 1 minute chart, you probably see like a double top. And so looking at the 5 minute chart, you know, you're like, okay, come on, you know, and if we close up here, a lot of people are like, well, that's confirmed, and they're in. But now I'm already spooked, like this is like a trap. But all we have to do is tip into the window now, and since it's quite a stop hunt, retracement, this could be a creeper gear retracement. And then it's fine with me. Like I said, I really prefer to go slam down, slam up, you're out, you go, thank God that's over. I don't have to babysit that bullshit or even think about adding to it. I hit my dollar target for the day. I really don't care about the final story of the movement. I guess I care about curiosity, but that's a discipline part, I suppose. Like I closed out of this thing on the euro dollar last Friday. Like, so as soon as it went up last Friday, I looked at it and I go, you know what? That's it. This was 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I go, that's done. Yeah, I did pull back and go for one more little gust, but I don't care because I just know that we've cleared the stairway all the way back up, and that's pretty much done. It's going to go choppy. It's going to get reorientated. It's going to get all, this and that. And I just don't care, But now if I'm in a small position, it's drifting. I'm like, yeah, I guess. But if I'm scalping heavy, no, I'm just going to clear the whole thing out and go flat. Or maybe leave a few tickets open just for fun. And I'd be like, look at that. And then, of course, this morning, as you would have it, Here comes the fucking British pound just bolting down, and I'm thinking, here we go. So I threw all my tickets out in front of it and actually reached the limit of the broker for the first time. I was careful that they didn't think I was spamming them, but I was in like crazy amounts. And I thought, wow, okay, well, the pound's going to keep tanking. So that's when I started to lay track, 20 pips deep, 10 pips deep, 12 pips deep. And I'm just going boom, 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 boom. And so as it's crushing down, the greedy side of me is saying, I wish I was buying at the market with a 100 pip stop right now. But I'm like, no. Because then I'm going to ride that down. Now, if there was a bunch of money in the account, I'd be like, oh, yeah, just keep pulling the trigger with a 20 pip stop. I'm with the 200 pip stop. Every time it chunks down, just go boom, 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 boom. Now, that's a completely different kind of trading. Not to mention, I got buy limits that are sitting down there waiting for the crush into them. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you know what? In about 13 minutes, they're going to be crushing it down there. So if you just put limits down there. Now, depending on how tight you put your stops in, they're kind of crushing you out, but then you have to step in front of the train when you're down there, because that's when you say, oh no, I'm getting in very heavy now at the market, because yeah, it's over for the day. I mean, that's one day sheer down. A huge contrarian buy opportunity at the end of the day. Now, it's completely different than a contrarian on the 15-minute chart, or even a contrarian on the weekly that's buying so heavy that they cannot absorb the punishment. Because it really is. I mean, if you're going to swing trade it and you know that if it's down 100, it could be up 200, you're like, I can make 200 pips on this trade. How can I scale into it, the crush, and survive it? Without moving your stops and your take profits, you could just do it mathematically, and then you just say, don't repeat any of your entrance prices this way. You always have a kind of it's really hard to destroy the account, because you're not standing in one position. You're just have a soft, like a diversification risk. So you're really not making tons of money that you could make if you were going to just really have just one. But this way, the volatility is what's making you money, because it's bouncing around, and they each have their own volatility rate. But they are correlated from that sense that it is the pound and the euro. So, and we don't have the New Zealand going on. I mean, that stuff would affect it. I'm sure if Australia moves, they say if Australia moves, or news comes out of China, it makes Australian markets move and all that stuff. Also, just the time of day. So when they overshoot the runway, I suppose for people that are, it's such a dramatic move when it spikes that they're like, wow, that is just a ridiculous move. And so here we go. Here's the pullback. 10 minutes have gone by after the top of the hour. We got a pullback. Is this a pullback, or are we just going to go crushing to the south now? But the market needs to kind of consolidate here and quiet down. I'm sure the bulls come in here. 5 minutes down. Any bull that is on the 5-minute chart should be buying every pullback on the 5-minute chart. I don't think you have to. This is not genius shit. Although you could overload a long position here, and then it could just completely collapse. There's nothing preventing that from happening. So yeah, anything you say about, oh, you should do this trade, yeah, it's okay until that. And of course, it would matter. Do you have the other kind of trade running simultaneously, or as soon as you just do that, now are you going to overtrade it? Right? It could be danger of overtrading it. And the swing trading is going to be you've got a 25 pip stop, and the market really has to go against you to take you out of that. But if you're scalping around it, you're always building the account on the. You're keeping the account able to swing because you scalp it. So I never remove my take profits. Every time I've done that, I lose my initial high probability win, which is the scalp. In other words, the 20 pips stop to make 10 pips. Here we go. We're holding 20 now. So we got to make it above the 20s on both the pound and this euro to the. But yeah, this is a classic Asian meltdown on a Thursday into, and also coming near the end of the month. So the middle of the month was a big turning point in the cycle. And now it's going to be this stampede into the end of the year now. You've only got like 6 weeks left. So we should see a big climax in the yearly charts. I mean, I don't know how to get a yearly chart up on MetaTrader, but maybe you get a synthetic one going, some type of indicator that's going to make a candlestick out of that. Interesting to see that. Probably stock market's out of control to the upside. Of course, that was obvious that once it started to churn north, man, did that thing just go nuts. Just keeps going up into the ether there. It's up into the ozone. So look, check out this pullback here. So I think the 5-minute bulls came in there, obviously, right? In a minute, buddy. Neighbor. My neighbor needs. I'm gonna have to go over there and put some. What is it? That rice in or something. That mail them some. I was talking to tech support, and they're listening in on my conversations. I noticed YouTube suggestions coming up after I called tech support. Very interesting. I do think that they are. I mean, I'm not losing my mind, but dude, there's no way they're coming up with a suggestion. I think the girl at the cable company might have pulled the trigger on like, oh, give them this in the suggestion box. And then YouTube pissed me off so bad. I went to upload a video and I couldn't figure out how to publish it because under the beta version, there's no tab drop down for publish. They make it just a horrifying, illogical kind of punishment. Like a hard punishment on your logic side of your brain. Like you're just like, it's like a no nonsense in slow mo with the blackboard. The blackboard. I guess I mean, I just think I'm in school. That's all. Didn't do good in school, so. All right, so we got to break out here. We got to get to the 25-yard line. Come on, people. Let's have it already. I expect the pound to follow the euro. But to swing trade it in 12 hours is an amazing trade. It's a complete downtrend, consolidation, retrace. It's so simple. And today, the pound down like that? Like, look at that thing. I showed it to this person. I said, you really think that's going to... I said, do you see anywhere else on this chart that it's moved that fucking hard down? It's a fake move. It's a CNN move. It's bullshit. And the euro wasn't having it. Euro yen was like going, what's wrong with you, pound? Look at this pound. Look at this drama queen currency. Look at this Brexit. That's why I don't understand Brexit. Let me sit down. Let me explain Brexit to you. Okay? I don't think you understand the fundamentals. Fundamentals matter, son. And you can talk all about your scripts and your robots, but let me tell you something. Yeah, that really drives me crazy. Look at this daily chart on the pound. What do you make of that? I think this thing's going to go fucking ripping north. I think the United States dollar is going to go through the floor forever now. I'm making this call right now. Look at this British pound. Are you kidding me? This flag above this? Uh-oh. Gee, I wonder if there's any stops here. Wow. Here, final destination. Good Lord, this, how about this thing? Can you imagine the pound getting to here? Oh my God, the dollar's going to get annihilated. The pound cuts to here, scalper's coming off of this, then it pulls back, then holy shit. Some kind of crazy shit going on here. How about the guy that bought below here? They came back to the floor. On the weekly, same thing happens on the 1 hour chart. The only difference is, instead of this being a whole year, this is 1 day. You could have bought the new lows into Asia. Retrace. You buy the new lows, and you have, this is a lot of pips, so, right, you have to have very deep pockets to buy into that. I keep getting these pop-ups from people. I just turn off this social media shit. Dude, I only got one fucking social media thing going, and it's fucking, really? Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you had for breakfast. Leave it alone. You'll be fine. Shut up and go trade Forex or something. Go make some money. Well, you see my iPhone? Fuck your iPhone. Fuck, these iPhones are so expensive, dude. Get a Windows tablet and trade Forex. Get a fucking used $100 fucking 10-inch tablet. What's wrong with you? Check your email. For what? How much porn can you get inside your email box? Poor email box is just going, give me a break. Get this guy away from my digits. What in the hell's going on with this pound, man? Brexit. Whatever. Is this Brexit? Don't make fun of Brexit. Son, don't be making fun of Brexit. It's good for you. Look at the ultimate zoom out. Look at the pound. Somebody, I talked to this guy today. Wasn't the pound up here one day? Yeah. It was. Look at the trap up here. Ouch. Buyers came in for a little bit, but then, uh-oh. Bottom became a top here pretty hard. Uh-oh. Bye-bye. Then the accumulation phase, all the zigzags. Then the crawl back. So rip down, crawl back, or crawl up, rip down. So that's a classic. So dramatic in this thing. It's so crudely, it shows up so obviously on here. Let me get rid of this this navigator thing. So look at this British pound. Wow. Oof. Look at that 1 month. Sheer up. Just blow your brains out. Yeah, that looks a little bit unstoppable. I think we gotta go after this price now. I can't see it just turning on a dime on the monthly. Maybe the weekly? Wait. Sure. Shit. That drawing mode just kills me every time. Because the computer's so slow, when I hit it, nothing happens. Big trap here on the breakout traders weekly. So guys that buy this breakout, they're like, uh-oh, that kind of came back to where I got in. The true bulls, they buy this pullback, they buy this. Top became a bottom, classic setup, low volatility, big smash. Takes this out, takes this, crushes these people. But people that sell up here, they're able to scalp it back. And now they're like, uh-oh, is this confirmation of this structure? Are we going to go up here now? Yikes. Come after this guy. Sure, come after the bears. Stop there. A little trap there for the guy that put the buy stop here. He's like, God damn it. I should have bought this pullback. This stop hunt here I should have bought. That's where I fucked up. I should have put a buy limit here. At least in this window. Bottom becomes a top. Rip down into this. Now we left this void behind. Itching to be filled. Whoosh. Then everybody's getting out. Holy shit. Get out while you can. In this pocket. If you're buying this, you get annihilated until you buy this. And then you make money. So maybe you bought from here to here. But when you get to here and below, all the way to here, you buy really big because you made money on that and you made money on this. Funny you can't tell here because here it closed and it you can't see the open, but you know that you went down here, so you know you went long here on limits. Then here, because this is the weekly chart, don't forget, you made money there because you were here at some point. Unless you closed here, at some point you went up there. So the guy that's selling with the shallow limits, his world is like, okay, he's got sells out here. He's trapping the bulls. He's going to take it the other way. Sell limits really tight in here. Amazing ratios. I mean, if you're selling here on limits, maybe you got some stops here. Pretty good, right? Here we almost to the 20-yard line of both these currencies at the bottom 8 hour. It's good. It's looking good. Here, this little trap. If you can see that. Just a little bit higher. And then boosh. And all these stops are stacking up. Right? All the bears are running a trailing stop strategy because they're making so much money here. But then all of a sudden, this is the vacuum under this wick. Look out. And now we're going to crush. Tonight I'm riding this thing all the way up. 5 minutes before the bottom of the hour. Let's go to the chart of the pound. Let me go to the quotes now. Let me turn this quote back on. Because I want to see both going about 20. So if I'm in really big, I stare at the quotes. Look how synced these two currencies are. So as long as they hold above 20, if they make it to 30, we will be severely up. I mean me. I'm in this really big. So this robot's not in, but the robot's prepared to get in here in a contrarian method, which I wouldn't recommend, but I kind of want to see. Another thing is I wanted to watch the robot trade so I can go, you know what? That looks like a good trading strategy. Because I wouldn't stand in front of there with sell limits like that close. What I should do is put a wide bot on there. I think I might have one. No, I don't see the tickets overlapping there. Okay, so we're holding above 21, 22 here on the euro to the yen. And this is the 5-minute chart, and we're about to break out possibly higher. And the 1 hour chart is playing catch up here. And look at, we're banging up on, we're knocking on heaven's door. Heaven's door being these stops. We're going to hunt those stops down. I don't have a delete all objects here. I'll just have to reload the top light to get rid of these. Shit. Okay, wait. There you go. Candlesticks. There you go. So here's the doji entry. Here's the breakout traders, non-directional breakout traders entry on the 1 hour. Right, that guy is getting triggered long here, and like I said, this is going to be our exit for the scalp because this is the floor we took out viciously, and we will be cashing out into that. Whew. We know there's people selling here, and this big tall window is really where I'd like to get to by London, so I can say, oh yeah, we're up. Make it to here. We're really up now, so go back to the other view. If I wasn't doing a video, I'd throw in the robot, but I'm actually trying to make sense. I mean, it's so hard to stop and I'm going to do this thing here. This is really pretty boring. Watch this. Okay, I just want to watch the quote board though. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Plus the bottom of the hour also makes me feel good. Let's make sure these are above 20 as we crush into the north on this yen. I think the yen's got more power in it because it didn't get as punished. But there's so much volatility in the British pound, you know, because here's the weekly. So here's another thing you could do is when we change time frames on this, it does not affect the robot, I don't think. Hopefully not. But look at the weekly view against the 1 hour. And this is the pop. This is the big pop that we got our first bite. Oh, actually, look at this doji on the 4 hours. So we popped into the window. This is the big 4 hour pullback that everybody's just freaked out about. Let's get rid of those for a second. I'm just going to go to these quotes. So from the candlestick trading system that is obviously a real system, I think it would be a robot that got in at the market on a hedge every time it saw doji. It seems like a fair system. We get in very heavy on the closing doji and then have exits in both directions because we can run very tight stops there. Same thing here and here. Huge expansion in one direction we just put on a very big at the market hedge there. Same thing here. You're up on the long side just because you got stopped out of the short, very tight stops here. Here also, you know, but here no. So I wouldn't put on a hedge here, even though you could say, well, look, yeah, but look at this spinning top. If you have a trade plan for a spinning top, which would be a very tight stop entry for an expansion in volatility, a big candle down to me says at 4 hours, I'm buying that. I'm just going to buy that. It's so obvious. Why do you need confirmation? You just got it. Look at the fucker. It's down. My God, man. What do you need? Somebody hit you with a fucking brick? Clean down 4 hours. Yeah, I know it went down like on the 1 hour. But holy shit. And you bought here, and you bought a 10K, you bought a 20K, you bought a 50K, you bought a 100K, but they didn't fill you in the 100K. It's all right. Look at you making money. And people are going to scalp out there, and they're going to take profits there, and all over again. It's just how it is. It's no biggie. I mean, it's really not that hard. It is if you're going to put a moving average on this shit. God damn. You know, the candlestick thing is really, when I first saw it, I thought, well, there you go. But then nobody had a trade plan for the doji. They were like, oh, that's a doji. And what? Well, it's indecision. Let me tell you something about indecision trades. And this is a pin bar, so this guy sends me this email. I hope and I don't hope he's listening. Some guy sends me this. He goes, you want to be an affiliate? And I go look at his thing, and he's like, well, you know, the big banks and not all pin bars. So I'll tell you what's going on in a pin bar a lot of people don't know. Who cares? You got a trade plan for that fucking pin bar? Hopefully you're getting the hell out of something, because when the market heats up, I mean, you really want to sit in some big fat position and shit your pants? Fuck no, scalps are for fucking big trades, and swings are for little trades, because you're never going to survive it. So having this scalp swing balance is the key. You can scalp it. It's Asia. I mean, it's London Open. You're like, boom. Let's come back in with limits. If you would have dumped everything at the top of this stairway, if you rode this British pound all the way up, trend traders get in here, nice move. Yeah, nice 8-hour move. Dump the whole thing, come in with limits at the 20s. Yeah. So when it got here, I'm putting in just like 50K in front all day today. It's coming down. I'm like, oh yeah. And then when it went down that little bit more on the 1 hour, I'm like, fuck you guys. Fuck that. I'm buying at the market. Come on. This is deep discount territory down here. Really? You need ICT to show you that? That's a retail flush is what that is. Yeah, some guy commented today about the level 2 data coming in. Subscribe for $500 a month and you can get level 2 market insider stuff. I used to look at, I used to look at this magazine. It's still out, I think. Stocks and Commodities. Oh man, look. And they had these pretty pictures in there. It was $5. It's like 28 pages. In the back it had like high-end monitors. This commodity shit. Costs you $400 a month to run that business. Dude, you could lose $400 a month in Forex and be killing it. I mean, what you spend on data for commodities, you could just lose in the market. You would still be up. You're still up. Because you can't be that bad at trading. I'm sorry. Nobody's that bad at trading. Well, I think they are if they're going to go with this Marxist utopian shit. Like, no nonsense. Dude, it's all nonsense. You just don't know how to deal with nonsense. That's your problem. You wanted the market to be presented to you on a moving average plate. On a... can I get that with a side of... No, there's no sides with this shit. There's nothing to soften the blow. Well, I put a moving average, it takes the noise out. It doesn't. Why is my account spiking? Because all of a sudden it's the top of the hour and the rest of the world's going to close coming into Friday. Are we going to scramble north? Is this the fucking impeachment fucking hearing, this sell-off? Yes. This bullshit move. Look at this fucking thing. I just get so pissed off. I saw some guy doing a moving average system today. What the fuck? Look at this dumb shit music in the background. People fucking have comments like, man, really appreciate it. Bless you. You're a godsend. How do you do it? He's not doing anything. He's not even trading it. He's not even saying, well, we're getting it here. I gotta stop there. If they stop me out, I'll buy more. I'm going to scale in. Or, I got a Gartley. What happened? I guess what happened was, it's like, people are searching, for, oh, there's got to be a trick to this. Not really. I think the trick is like, just, the trick is having a system that you could run, even if it's manual, that you could say, well, If the market's down really fast, then maybe you can't keep going that. Maybe it's gone too far too fast, and maybe I could buy it, and maybe it's going to go back up. Um, I guess you have to have some idea of when a market's quiet and when a market's moving. You know, I guess if you interviewed somebody that's never seen a chart in their life, or you just gave somebody an interview about price, they would probably sound like really good traders. I mean, sound like, well, hey, what do you do? So, what do you do when the market's not moving? Now, some people say nothing because I'm not getting a signal. And some people would say, hopefully, I'm in something in case it moves my direction. And then somebody would say to that, well, what do you got, a fear of missing out? No, I just know that if I'm not in, that's why there's a fear of missing out, because you ever seen a market move and you go, I knew that was going to happen. Why wasn't I in? Because people's idea in is 2% of their account on one idea. That's their idea of in. But what if you're just barely in it? Do you have to buy a museum? Start off with a statue. Okay, a little statue on my shelf. Look at that. It's like a museum in here. But I mean, why are you buying the fucking Fabergé egg? And then you're like, yeah, man, you better be right about these garlic patterns because, we got a lot into this. Just too vicious. I mean, as soon as London opens, we could just be either smashing down or smashing up. I mean, there's no telling. There's no guarantee. Yeah, the book thing, I don't know. I have, if you like technical analysis, there was a book, Master Swing Trader. Some guy had channels drawn and all that stuff. He didn't have trade plans in there either, but if you're into picturing a swing trade, in other words, the end of a channel, a channel is just momentum that has been going at such a rate of change that it's almost like a perfect trend. But then, of course, it's walking into some price. I don't know if that's, I guess it's if you haven't looked at a chart from the structural standpoint and said, okay, wait a minute. I see a pattern here. The engulf pattern, so to speak, or even inside bar, a simple 2-bar pattern. Okay, is there a trade plan for that? Next question is, how many of those can I put on? And do I have the time to even put the trade on? So, yeah, theoretically, you should be able to make a bunch of money trading, but then, of course, can you be awake 24 hours a day? Or are you going to have to accept the fact that, you know what, I'm not going to be able to get to the platform every minute, so I'm going to throw in a bank of buy limits and walk away. And I'm going to make money because I don't give a fuck. And if you give a fuck, then you're no nonsense, right? He gives too much of a fuck. He's so careful. I just want to punch him. He's like some pussy that, it's like, dude, what happened to you? You didn't have no dad or nothing to tell you, dude, get the fuck out there. Oh no, I got my hands in. And then he's talking about, I never traded the commodities, He's only been trading 10 years and he's an algo thing. And then, you know how long it took me to build this channel? Get all these people to listen to me with my blackboard? I don't get it. I guess it's just an ego trip. That's the only reason I'm doing it. I'm not sitting there saying, oh, this is what you do. I'm not selling a subscription. I'm not going fucking mentorship. Yeah, so the guy at the mentorship thing. Who's this going on in pin bar? Dude, I mean, I get, okay. Do you want to do that? I still don't get why the guy that's the mentor isn't killing it in the fucking market. So he's just like, yeah, I don't really do a mentorship. Or, I personally couldn't do it because somebody'd ask me, and I would probably talk for 3 hours on one fucking question. And then I'd be like, well, I'm tired, And of course, that person would just have to find their way through the fact that, like I told this person today, it is totally counter it. You have to go against your nature. It's going down, and you're thinking about, where do I buy? Like, you've obviously missed the train. When I see this move here, like if I came into the middle of the movie here and this market is down like this, be like, wow, man. I guess if I didn't sell up here, or at least have a sell stop here to get involved in this, what the fuck am I doing selling into that? Now, selling into this, maybe, oh yeah, we're starting to get the party started. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna come after these guys. Sure, I'll sell into that maybe. Or I got in here at the obvious market hedge when the market's not going anywhere. You get in. And, this was the limits fills for the limit guys, who got an amazing sell out of that. And this is the 4-hour chart. So this would be, okay, so here, and all these dojis are stacking up here. The spinning top, this is what kicked the whole thing off. This is coming into Sunday open. So Sunday we get a nice rally, trips into the big deep seller's window that goes way back, and then we go sideways, cave into this hole, buyers come in. Meanwhile, pressure's building up on the other side, go back up. Pretty funny then, just hard down. That to me says RSI signal right away. Huge RSI signal. More oversold at a higher price than this. Higher price than this, kind of. But just big down. Now, if it only makes it to here, I say I'm up. If it follows through into US Open and just goes berserkoid, and the dollar goes to hell and gold goes to 1,600 into the end of the year, inflation's coming. There's no way on the planet Earth that you can have the economy that be this good. And one of the reasons for taxation, that's maybe not the reason, but it's certainly an after effect that creates a stable currency, is that they're taking that money out of circulation. Taxes are not for revenue. They're just to direct people's behavior. So, I mean, they've already spending more money than they're taking in. So apparently it's not like, wait, hold the phone. We got to get some more taxes before we do some more dumb shit projects. I don't think so. So that's going on. That is the unseen hand. That's like just Mother Nature. Which that's why people use Fibonacci in the markets, because they think markets is a natural phenomena. Therefore, okay, maybe. But think about 40 Fibonacci's on here, not just one. Sure, Fibonacci's may exist, but imagine a skewed, distorted, warped Fibonacci. That's what you get when you have a real market that looks noisy and it looks confusing and it looks like a mess. I think it's because of that. That's another thing people just don't want to accept. The other book really, to me, of course, I was talking about last time, is Mark Douglas' first book, The Disciplined Trader. It took him like 7 years to write. Kind of cryptic, but prime example of belief systems. That's why Gartley would work, because you believe it works, and you're going to make sure that stop is wide enough, and you're going to go look. That's how people trade Fibonacci. They believe it works. It doesn't matter if it works, because they go, we got 200 pip stop. You trade fundamentals with a 300 pip stop. Yeah, it works, because you can survive the punishment, and you can make the claim in the end, with being in the trade for 3 months with a 500 pip stop, that look at, I'm making money. Yes, that's true. It's true. All those stress. Some guy was like, "Oh, I made fun of Pike," and this guy was, "Oh, dude, you're just so cruel." Like, or he says, "Why do you care?" I said, "Well, just because just he looks like Pike. Let's face it." And what he's doing is so silly in the sense that it's not what's making him money if he makes money at it, because it's about, are you in a, $50,000 position or a $5 million position? And are you in for a day or are you in for an hour? Because it's a 24-hour market. So, and do you need that money to live on, or is this just for fun? You just like, having fun in the market? And all that stuff would matter because, some people don't want to scalp. It's just too intense and you got to trade too big. Some people just want to go, no nonsense for me. Yeah, I signed up. Well, I didn't sign up because, it's free. And I just buy pullbacks and check the volume. It's all right. We're making 10%. I mean, these guys are like, no nonsense is basically like, if you're making 10%, you're killing it. For most people like you, barely understand what I'm saying, with the blackboard and everything. I had to break it down and keep it simple. And he's got everything in these giant fonts. His last video he did, he had something like, just, I don't understand. I'm still torn because I'm like, I think I'm heard it all. And I kind of can perceive where somebody's coming from, but I just don't get why it has to be so clunky. Is he trying to include retards? I'm going to be all inclusive when I describe what I'm doing here. Everybody in the room will understand it. Okay. Now, you with me so far? Who's not with me? Raise their arm. I mean, he must have one of these. Can you imagine go to the no nonsense symposium? Okay, everybody in the room, can we take roll call? Make sure everybody's here. And are you alert? We don't want anybody drinking. Okay, if you're drinking, I remember one time. I was watching the live feed of Alex Stokes, and he got all like virtuous, and he said, if you're just here to have fun, if you're just here to gamble, you must leave the live chat right now. And we're not here to gamble and have fun. This is very serious. Don't play with other people's indicators. If they leave the room, don't monkey with their screen. Jesus. What is with these people? We have mentorship. Where do they come up with this fucking number? Wait, it's $2,995. It was $99, but we took... Really? You took off the 4? Well, it's a discount with the code. I'm going to send you DVDs. And then they said, we don't want you to cheat and go ahead. Like, watch one DVD at a time. Like no nonsense says. If there's anything that you don't understand, you can go back and like. This guy is just like, every time he comes on, he says, listen, it's the Q&A. It's the Sunday Q&A. His premise is, don't ask me any stupid questions. It's probably already been asked. Go back and watch my videos. I want to watch you start to finish. Just go back to OT level 1. Start over. Come on. This guy has to be doing, like, he's like, what is they? Psychological operations on people. Trying to tune them to the no nonsense way. And then if you go to the Discord, there's people in there that say, listen, that's not how we do it here. No nonsense. Some guy, there's people that come in there, they go, well, I'm on the 4-hour chart. And this is kind of like going against the daily kind of ritual. No nonsense, checks the volume. Can you imagine this guy? And in the last video, he said that he laid out index cards of different colors to put this show together with his blackboard. Okay, I get it. You can be organized and stuff, but he put index cards together? He must have been a really good student in school because he's that guy. He shows up with a Rolodex. Dude, you're not even 10 years old. I guess that's something. Something to admire. That's why, hence the blackboard. So I guess I'm really triggered by it all. The guy says, why do you care? I care about everything I'm criticizing. Look at it all. The best of these guys that like Pips aside, these black guys are just fucking killing it in the market because they're like me. They're just selling into the high of the day. And they're like, yeah, dude, we sold like 50,000 there. And they're like, yeah, they're just like, yeah, this is what we do. And the one guy was doing the scalp off the high of the day. And he wouldn't show the left side of the chart, and he was telling people, yeah, you know, I can't tell you how I'm doing it. Anyways, we're looking to clean up the end of the week here. So we're almost hit 20 on both instruments. I'm waiting for them to sync back up. This is a big deal for me. Top of the hour. It's a big deal for the markets too. I don't know. No nonsense is a real, like, I keep thinking that somebody hired him to make me insane. Like somebody's like a trick. I know what we'll do. This no nonsense guy. He's available. We'll have him. He's like global trolling me. I'm waiting for this to hit 20 on the left. And then we're off to the races. We got another pullback. 5-minute guys came in and bought it. Trailing stops are stacking up. It's looking ripe. But no, it really is amazing because if you go and look at the Discord channel there and read how people talk about it, they're actually like talking about things that don't matter. It really doesn't matter whether or not the ATR and the baseline are copacetic. It does not matter. I mean, this is when people do the back testing and they go, yeah, you know, when the 10 crosses the 20 MA crosses the 30 and I see a pin bar, I'm getting in. And how do I know that's good? Because I back tested that exact scenario. You did? Oh my God, I hope you're not making dinner tonight. Like, what is it like when you go in the kitchen and cook? Do you measure everything out? Well, yeah. I mean, it says 350 degrees. You mean you followed the manufacturer's recommendations for making your cookies? I know they're a little raw. I know they got salmonella, and I didn't calibrate the oven, but it did say 350. Put it on 350. Wow, you didn't look at to see if the cookies were crispy? What are you, nuts? Dude, I'm following directions. This is my algorithm. It's just so preposterous, this algorithm thing. Why? Because people want to replicate their wonderful system over and over again. And I wanted to do the same thing. So I can't blame people for thinking I'm not that guy on TV ripping that fart that was heard around the world. I'm actually sitting on a rubber ball. I'm sitting on a yoga ball here. Helps me focus on the market. Prices, it makes the prices move. How about that guy? He's denying it. No nonsense guy. I've learned so much. When it pissed me off, when I saw him and it pissed me off, like when it pissed me off to see the guy from Trader's Way trying to help people, I'm like, oh God, you know, it's therapy really. Because then you start to think, all right, yeah, sure, I'm sure he means well, I'm sure he's a nice guy. By the way, that that Forex Hangout guy, I think he's gravely ill because I think he lost weight. I saw one of his last videos and I think he got sick. So maybe but he tore down his videos. I don't know if he went into some underground prop house or something. I really don't know. He wasn't very chatty, so I wasn't able to connect with him. The last time we talked to him was me and this guy from out east, I think, and I don't know. It was it was a little dicey because we came into it. We came in hot, let's say, to the conversation, and that was awkward because we have different trading styles. And I'm sure he meant well, but for the love of Pete, I mean, I could never understand what was going on there. His trading entry would have been, like, I could see it right now in the chart. He'd be buying right now going, you know what, it's going. No, I think he would probably do something like, when it got up here, he'd buy it. Only that I would be buying down here. Or I would buy this top become a bottom. I'd buy this structure thing, right? Like here's the 5-minute structure. Breakout, pull back. Comes back to here, comes back to here, comes back to here. Now we pop north. We rip up for the next half hour. All it has to do is move 10 pips. So I'm only asking the market to make it to... Well, this is going to be the big crush window right there. I'm selling into that, by the way. With the robot's going to sell into that just by default, which is fine. I think it's a good trade. I got nothing against my robots. I know nobody likes to talk about the different styles. You know, heavy metal, if it's done right, I don't mind it, but I'm not going to put out heavy metal. Because I'm a musician and I understand what they're doing. And it's just ridiculous. They're just beating the shit out of it. I don't think it's got room to breathe. I think if you're having really hot sex, maybe, but I don't know if all the time I'm going to listen to heavy metal. So, doing these videos a few times I don't have anything. I either got talk radio on or maybe a little music, listen to music. But music's upsetting to me because as soon as I hear it, I think, wow, geez, I'm going to go out and buy a new guitar. I just get completely carried away in it. So I gotta be careful listening to music sometimes because it's like drugs. But because the dryness of the market is kind of fun because it's just so fucking dry. It's just so... you cannot affect it, right? It doesn't know you exist. So it's kind of a secret situation. Everything else in life, you're interacting, you know. You go up to the store, there's people there. Get the fuck out of my way. I go in these stores. Listen, don't these people know I'm in the store? Get the fuck out of the aisle. You can see that I'm in the aisle and you're standing in the middle of it. I mean, these people now are they got these zombies at the fucking store now. Dude, are you so unaware? Do you not know that there could be somebody behind you? And then they're in these fucking carts, these electric carts. Stop it with the electric carts. Somebody's gonna pull these fuckers off these carts and force them to walk. I'm sorry. I mean, you may think that Hitler was rough, but I'm telling you, you may think he was a stickler, but why all the leaning on technology like that? You're already the size of a small home, and you're in the ice cream aisle on a fucking robo-cart. That thing shouldn't even be allowed to get near anything that is going to hurt you nutritionally. Like all these carts that they have should be programmed like, okay, if you are morbidly obese, that cart won't even, it's locked out of the ice cream aisle. It's never going to make it to the pastry cabinet. No. People are like, people buy more food probably on this cart. So the grocery store is like, get some more carts in here. In fact, we're going to make it mandatory that everybody be zombified and just be dragged around in these carts. Okay, the sellers came in here again. People cashed out already, I can see. So they're just trying to make us zombies with the moving averages, with the fucking robo carts. Can't you see what's going on? Even Robinacci knew this. When he knew what he knew, and he was in the restaurant when he was in the restaurant, and he knew that they knew that he knew that they knew. And he said that it was better than Fibonacci because it was based on his name, Robinacci. Right? Isn't that the that's the whole thing. That's why it's so important. Well, we never made it to 20 on the British pound. I'm kind of disappointed. Looks like the euro went out for the moment. It's a hemming and it's a yin and yang. It's not moving in concert together too, which is nice. That's in our favor. So we don't have this harsh equity swing. It's like we're winning a little bit and we're losing a little bit when we're in both currencies. Still looking for play catch up here on the British pound. That'll also trigger different exits that I have set up. I hate this template here. Let me change this. Let's put some crazy shit in here like this. Here's a nice setup on the 30-minute chart. Breakout, pull back, breakout, pull back. Make it a little bit higher there. Kind of trap we're trying to stop hunt this stuff. So I already know I have to get out here, which we haven't been to yet. 25-yard line. I have to get out here on something. That's a must exit so we can go take a nap and go, you know what? We've got money. We can always buy in limits. So when London opens, if they smash it down, because that's what they do. Smash it down, we buy it. Cash it out. Now, getting the spacing right, getting the sizing right. Yeah, that's going to be the hardest thing. And if that's as hard as it gets, it's doable. So the structure on the half-hour chart is that we know that this is the quiet Asian session. Last night, we broke into this window. We pulled back. Tops become bottoms on the 25-yard line here. Perfectly. We rip 25 pips clean. Come back off the 50. Up again. Sure, in the half hour it's possible, right? You tag that round number, come flying off it. Not quite back to the floor because that happened here, right? That was the half hour scalp. If you bought this window here, that was your scalp. If you bought here again, which I did, now here's where I really bought. And I got that one scalp off, but now if we could just make it to here, then we'll be at 20. We'll be at 25 on bid. And both currencies will be above 20. I know it's been going up for an hour and 40 minutes. I've been ranting, waiting for the market to do its thing. Another reason why trading is so hard to... Well, in Asia it's quiet, but when this is smashing down here, if you didn't see that, if you just had your orders here, this ticket is almost break even, right here. But you're up on all the tickets all the way down to Here you would buy more. Here you'd buy more. Here you'd buy. You never get filled down here. That's how you know you're probably not over trading it, not under trading it, because if you could afford to buy down here and they only filled you on this much, then you're right in the sweet spot because they could go down there. In fact, today when we went down here, I thought, are we really going to take out this? Wow. And I was getting a little concerned because it got in very heavy. I go, gosh, if we do go down there, I guess they'll have to stop me out and I will have to buy down there. And that's just terrible feeling because you know you have to buy down there. Because then it's even a better trade than. Just like when I bought here, I knew I had to buy more here because I knew that this was coming if I bought down here. I didn't know, but I certainly bet on it. I bet that that was going to happen. I had to bet that that was going to happen. So I got out of about 20% of the position so far in this. 25 maybe. And this one, gosh, I want to buy this on pullbacks right now on limits, but we never filled that sell up there. But this looks like a nice drift. On the 15, it looks like I would put the buy limits here. The 15-minute trader doesn't get as many. It's a lower frequency. If you're going to buy every pullback on the 15, once we take out this top, you buy this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6K you're in. We got to take out this. We got to get to here. We got by the time London opens, we've got to be cutting into this blue. Otherwise, we got to come back. So I'm in this position, but I'm not going to buy this pullback because I'm in pretty heavy, so I don't really want to end up, because if that happens, what I'll have to do is keep buying as it drops, because then I'm committed to that. That's just the way I am. I just would say, oh fuck, well, shit. Okay, let's really get in then. If that's the case, of course, this is where we would hope it would come back to, but it may never come back to this. But I'm talking about increments, so it's an incremental decision. It's not this hard buy sell idea. It's like, yeah, I'm already long. Now, maybe if it comes down here, I'll go, you know what? Yeah, I'll buy that. If I, this is a 15-minute chart, so in 5 minutes, if we're down here, I'll buy it. That's the now that to me, that's a valid criteria for a setup. If it is down in 5 minutes and they update the 15-minute chart, I will buy. It's a very crude, simple system. If it's down in 15 minutes, I buy. Down in 15 minutes, I buy. No baseline. If it's up 15 minutes, I sell. Sell, 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 cash out. Sell, 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 cash out. Right? Sell, 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 buy. You need to have a stop, though. A different stop for each button press, because this buy, this allows you to buy 1, 2 positions with a very tight stop to make this. Whereas this big hard pullback, versus every 15, keeps smashing down. Buy, buy. You got to buy with wide stops here. Because it's moving so hard down. You can't buy with a tight stop there. You can when it's going small. Baby pullback, buy with a tight stop. Not 2% of your account. Market doesn't know how big your account is. But the market knows how volatile the market is. Looks like a pullback coming here, maybe. Just crawling up this thing. It's a trend. I think we're due for some type of pullback to here, maybe. By the bottom of the hour. So my system says in 3 minutes on the 15-minute chart, if it's down, I buy. And maybe when I would stop buying once we get above here, because I know there's sellers in here. I don't want to be buying into the sellers area. So buying this double bottom, buying down here because of support. Maybe you build 28K in here. You're long now. Don't buy as it's going up, maybe, or just buy every 15 minutes a little bit. But if you load it up here, or maybe you did a confirmation buy stop entry here, you got picked up. Okay, well, you're kind of not, where's your stop? Maybe here. You're like, oh, geez, I should have bought down here, man. In the time auction, bottom becomes a top. 15-minute story. Yeah, if you're staring at one instrument, you can see this. Not at 28 pairs. In the 28 pairs, it becomes redundant. Every currency has the same fucking structure. So just pick one that's going to move enough for your risk. Liquid enough so it's not some crazy thing like Euro New Zealand, or I don't know. I guess if you're getting a good, but it can be very wicky. Like all of a sudden this stuff happens and they kicked you out of your scalps. And now you're just stuck with your swings, and then you're like, Jesus. So it's kind of a challenge, but it's doing these two currencies because it lets me experiment with that same script on the other currency, and slightly different coverage area means it's going to be slightly under or over traded, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a nice offset balance because it's going to give you a little bit of a less, when you're just in one thing, it's got to line up. Okay, we just backed off here to 20. I expect the pound's going to try to pick up the slack. You could also put up the euro versus the pound. I'm sure you'd see at this point. That kind of hemming and hawing there, and everything's in this big float, being offsetted by other things. And I've stared at it for hours, and I must say that, yes, you can make sense of that because you see this is moving like that, and that's kind of what the pound's getting strong across 6 other currencies. You could put up all the pound pairs, all 6 of them, and watch how the pound is against those. And maybe you pick the best one out of there, but you're typically going to have to pick the one that has the affordability rate because it's either moving too big or it's not moving big enough, so it's costing you too much to get in. You have to trade too big, and now the spread's your enemy. It's the same problem, right? So if you're just trading one guppy position with a 300 pip stop, yeah, you can make 200, 300 pips because you're like, I could put orders in 50 pips apart. I'm going to put up the guppy one day, but if I do, I already know that it's pointless to approach it with even a 20 pip stop, in my opinion, because it could just rip 20 pips and you're just out of that ticket. So they're backing off the euro, backing off the pound here. Bottom of the hour is going to be hopefully going to sync up here. Both stay above 20, and then we're going to go up and away. And I can go back to my snoozing. I keep on bringing up this other chart. I want to see just the quotes. Oh, shit. What a mess here. I'm going to put this up. I want to see this coming up on 20. I like 20. The 25 grid's cool too, but 20 gives me an even number across the board. 25 is like, yeah. It makes you want to put the 50 up because the 50 correlates to the 25. Where the 20 straight across, you get the 20, the 80, the 60. Okay, so there's 20. This is coming up on the 25 here, but up on the quote board. So that's going to be, we're waiting for that to happen, and it's very boring. I don't know what to tell you. Boredom here. 2 hours into this fucking thing. So we started just before the bottom of the hour. That was 2 hours of this consolidation drift. It's all right. That's how it is. I don't think recovery is going to be slow here, coming into Europe's open. I expect it to be kind of a creeper gear drift. Much more satisfying if it rips back up. Here, I got a nice pullback here. The 5-minute traders came in and bought that euro versus yen. They're holding above 20. Got to get the euro above 20 now. The half-hour pound chart there. I mean, got to get the pound above 20 there, and they start to both go north here. Then we can kind of relax a little bit. Ride the drift. We've scalped that bottom portion heavy. Now we're just waiting for the drift. And if when London opens, if we're up into this thing here, I have to get out. Well, I just naturally will because all the targets are they're all terraced up into this thing. So sell here, sell there, cash out. And here, those two spots. I think it's the yen, euro yen. Has a lot more strength. The euro has a lot more strength than the pound at the moment, but we're still kind of setting up. We can still zoom to here, clear that out. Nice 25 pip run. That wouldn't be too shabby either. So, but I'm stuck in this trade for the moment. I'm just gonna ride out this changeover into Europe. And then whatever happens, happens. Yeah, I'm not going to touch it. This is too much work. So with swing trades like this, I just build that position and, okay, let's just walk away. It's so much work to, when the pound's dropping like that, and you're gauging, well, you're going to catch a falling knife, basically gauging like, okay, well, let's put some haystacks down there. Catch the, catch this pummeling move. And then make sure you scalp out of the bottom of that. If you have to, because you're not in big enough, you'll have to come into the market and hit the buy scalp thing. So you can just really make a lot of money on that first dead cat bounce because it might go lower. You need that money in the account. So I don't ever ride one single position. Just never worked for me because I get so transfixed in the big picture that I think, well, I'll just hold this one position. I just don't even have to worry about it. No, because in about 12 hours, it's going to be going the other direction. It's a session to session, session rollover stuff. These other people are going to take the ball. If this pound gets above the dollar, and this good economy shit, there's just so much money in circulation that people are making more money. People are buying more bullshit. Money velocity or money circulation. We've been waiting for this for a long time. We're just wondering when. I don't think it's going to be. Maybe it starts off slow and then it spikes. So people are like, wait a minute. How much does that thing cost? Of course, the aha moment, typically. Now, when you hear about it on the news, so there's these people that are doing these YouTube things. The end of the world's coming financially. There's going to be a big reset. They're doing stuff like, well, you see, deflation's bad. Is it? How is deflation bad? Oh, because then it's a race to the bottom. Okay, let's do it. Because I'm sick of them raising the prices. I'm sick of chasing price. Let the reset happen. Let the reset begin, I say. Bring on that old reset. It's about time. Okay, about the hour's coming. I'll fall asleep. Okay, this market's so boring now. Goddamn. It's just so boring. I don't know how people do it. That's why we have a mentorship. It's not so boring then. A mentorship. Come here, son. You see that saw blade over there? Turn it on. I'll give you something to be mentorshiped about. Okay, both on the half-hour chart. Big pullback here to the 20. This is just getting the party started here on the British Pound. Mentorship. If you join our ICT, like, this is people say, but wouldn't you want a life mentor, like somebody to go, get the fuck away from, stop sitting on the couch so much. You're going to die. Get out there and, I guess that's what the mentorship program is about. Stop trading. Go get laid. Step away from that donut rack. Shouldn't you be doing a Gartley pattern? Psst. Tisk tisk. Don't read ahead in the book. Don't go for, the blackboard is for the teacher only. And if you do have a question, I'm sure you can go back and watch my video. Some guy commented on a stream I did that was like 12 hours long. I don't remember. But yeah, these streams I did were just insane because I'd fall asleep. I'd just feel I cannot stay awake. I just put on a train sound and go to sleep because, my God, man, it's so boring. Okay, they're both selling off now. So yeah, the people have cashed out that first price pulse right into here. I think the bears could take it down to here now, all the way back. So I would put in limits now. If I wasn't in this position, I'd definitely buying right there in this pocket. Anything up into this double top. And every half hour, 15-minute chart, I would have bought. I forgot to check it. Okay, I would have bought that pullback there on the 15. Boom, I bought that at the market. And this one I would have bought too, but not as much. Because see, this is a big hard pullback on the 15. This was not. This has still got a tank, it looks like. Still got some pullback in this one. But at the bottom of the hour, I'd buy it. But then, really, I think the ultimate is to buy this area here, and then this area here. So that's our first dead cat bounce. Okay, so there you go. So that's why I'm glad I didn't buy that, because it's a swing trade now. We scalped the bottom, and now we're in for the swing, and I'm just going to watch it. I could put some limits in. Wait, here, because I don't want to chase it, but I would put in some limits. So I don't want to have to babysit the entry here. Let me buy some tight limits here. I'm going 3 pips deep. I got this 1 hour 3 pip script. So all day long I've been running these insane orders like 1 hour 4 pips to 11 pips deep. And the broker must just think I'm out of my mind. It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Yeah. I know. Hey, listen, we freed up some margin on that bounce, so let's get back in. So I was careful not to write a 8 hour 3 pip deep. I only have a 2 hour 3 pip deep, and the next one is 12 pips deep for 3 hours. 2 hours. We have a 6 pip deep in 2 hours. We got, okay, so I'm in so light now that it doesn't matter. This pullback is just a buying on limits opportunity. If they don't fill the limits, then it's perfect, because it's like, it's kind of an insurance policy now. It's a great place to add. So if it comes back, I will notice the drawdown. But see, this is it's okay, because I'm not going to let go of this whole position, because we're going sideways and I'm freaking out. So the scalp enables me to swing now. And we may not come down here and stop this, so I don't know if I'd add here at the market, so I'm just going to, like I said, I'm not going to add anything. It's fine. It's fine just like this. Ten seconds. Now we could get a spike down here. Maybe it will pick up a limit. Or we're going to rip up. So there you go. 930 is a big deal. If it rips up, then that's fine too. We still can't get these guys synced up to 20 on each side. 20 on the right side, left side. British pound. Gotta get to 20 here. Let's get a nice spike going to the upside. So exactly 12 hours from the opening of the Dow Jones right now. Also, that's another reason why 930 is a big deal. It's a 12-hour cycle. It's just funny. I wish I had the session thing. I do have a session thing. I wanted to adjust it so it just shows me a 1 hour window. It just highlights that rollover point instead of having the whole session be a whole block. Okay, 76.56. Alrighty then, that's about it. We'll see where we are tomorrow on this. We could still come down into here. I definitely would love to buy this plunge into this. Buying this again and buying this again. Would give us some more fuel to make it back up here and make it more high probability that we're going to make it above that line. And we will clean up on this trade. So the top becoming a bottom now. The 15-minute guys are buying that. They're buying this. Targets cash out above here and above that. So I don't know if I'll be able to post this indicator tonight because I'll probably just do another video about it. It's no big deal. You can just draw this shit yourself. But like it looks like that. We got this stacking up too. On the 15, we got this pressure building up because the bears are short on their stops. So we got to blow out that top. Like we blew out this top when I started the video, we could blow out that and go crushing up. Real creeper gear retracement. As you know, it is how here's 5 minutes after the bottom of the hour here. It's going to get frisky. All right, so final destination is to the upside on both of these. I'll gladly buy in pullbacks here. 2 minutes. So we'll see if they do it. So this thing struggled to get above 20 on the pound. I'm gonna crush that pound back. I expect that, especially this last minute. It's 5 minutes past 9:30. Yeah, let's see. Go here. I'll get it down here. Some pendings down here. Here too. I think this is gonna be the right place to buy more. Okay. Got 30 seconds left. Yeah, they had to come down deep for me to get filled. Way down here. $20 seconds. Maybe we'll get a spike or something. 10 seconds. See if we can't get a spike down there. Boom. So there you go. 5 minutes after. And a lot of people are going to buy that price. So if I bought that at the market, I'd still put limits in. So right there, I'd be buying. Looks like they're going to crush this down here. Still haven't hit my limits. All right, so that's that. They pull it back. I'm going to buy more. I'm looking for the big retrace here on the euro. On the half hour, coming back to that double top finally. So the scalp's in the bag. We got limits waiting to get filled here. Make it to here. We'll be good. We'll have money. Okay, there you go. 5-minute traders are assessing it. They say it's a good buy. Big dramatic pullback. They kind of hunted enough stops there. 5-minute pound. Yeah, just nicked the wick there. I like it. Big dramatic pullback. Okay, that's that. We're locked and loaded. Gonna ride the drift into Europe Open now. That's the story.